What's going on, everyone? How'd you like that YouTube intro? That's what you get when you get super awesome, amateur, mediocre photo editing and video editing skills. But we're getting better. So, what's going on, Walden Sports family? We're going to talk today about some back and chest, tips on back and chest, on how to get better activation, get stronger, get them to grow a little bit more. I know if you saw our last YouTube video, or second to last YouTube video, it was of our back and chest workout. I know a lot of times I have a hard time hitting back just because a lot of times my arms take over, my biceps take over because they're awesome. And but they take over a lot, and so I have a hard time hitting back. So AJ's gonna start. He's better at talking more technical like this. I just kind of wing it sometimes. But go ahead.
Yeah. So for some of the stuff you saw in the video, one is the lat pull down. You can do a lot of different grips with that, and this one I chose to grip. So lat pull down, drop you out. Neutral grip I did. And it's also really nice because you can really pull down with it.
I like using this one because of the shoulder problems. My shoulders burn. Like if I'm going wide like this, when I pull, when I get out, even without holding any weight, I feel it just tearing and tearing into my shoulders. But with the neutral grip too, I like doing it because you can actually kind of overextend your back some, and it's really easy to change up your position because if you stay more upright, obviously you're going to get a greater lat stretch moving upward. But if you lean back, you can really focus on getting your rhomboids and your traps. And then so, with the neutral grip too, when you're pulling down, it makes it a lot easier to try and rip that bar apart. A lot of times when you're working back, that main focus is, you always want to try and spread or rip apart the bar that you're pulling on.
Yeah, and when you're doing those, one thing that really helps to kind of get your mind into it more is just kind of think about pulling your elbows down through kind of in towards your sides, and make sure you really get a stretch at the top of the movement too, so you can kind of feel where you're supposed to be hitting.
Like imagine like if somebody's behind you or just behind you, imagine you're trying to elbow the person behind you. Like if you're pulling back, if someone's pulling, you want to try and elbow that person's hand. You can visualize that a lot more when you're doing dumbbell rows, especially bent over because you're rowing backwards. And so just imagine like there's some guy trying to rob you. You gotta stop him.
Yeah, and then same kind of thing with the cable row. You really want to focus on pulling your elbows back. And the cable row, what you also see in the video, really hits kind of the middle of your back, the rhomboids, the lower traps, and also some of your lats. And in this video here, you'll see me doing it with two separate handles instead of one kind of V-bar.
I like that so much more.
Yeah, it was tough, but the good thing about the separate handles is instead of stopping kind of where your hands are at your chest, you can pull your hands back really into like where your lat area is.
It's all about when you're lifting, when you're doing these kind of exercises, and obviously it's more towards muscle growth and bodybuilding. Like it's all about how much contraction you can get in that muscle. And so, normally if you were attached to a fixed bar, you can only get about here because you're going to stop and hit yourself. Well, if you can free up more motion to actually spread more and squeeze your lats more, you're going to get that much more contraction. And you really feel it burn. A lot of what I like to do one arm stuff because it's so hard for my back to actually activate. By doing one arm, I can actually stretch way out in front of me on the negative, and when I pull to the positive, I can almost not hyperextend, but almost like overshoot that positive movement. And then I like to do rope things a lot too. So if here's a good tip for you guys. If you're doing T-bar rows with a V-bar, instead of using that bar, use a rope. And so you wrap the rope around, grab it with two hands, invert, so you want your palms facing away from you. And when you pull on that rope, spread it apart as hard as you can. You want to imagine, you want to pull on the rope, trying to make it straight. And by doing that, you're going to get that over contraction of your lats. And when I started doing stuff like that, my back started to grow like a monster. That's been the only thing that's worked for me. So if you're a hard builder and a hard gainer like I am, you got to try and utilize those tricks.
And also with the rows, especially on the cable row or any sort of hammer strength row, your position with your elbows will determine kind of which muscles are more you hit more throughout the workout.
Yeah.
So in the video, you'll see me kind of keep my elbows in a little closer to my lats. That kind of puts more focus on the middle of my back. And if you have your elbows out more, say like 45 degrees, you'll feel it a lot more in your lats as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about, you know, when you're hitting back, the different variation. If your hands are like this, or if they're like this, or like this, those really small movements can make the difference of where you're actually targeting. So, you know, if you're doing this, you're going to be more prone to hit rear delts. If you're doing this, you're going to be more prone to hit the middle of your back, meaning your rhomboids and your traps. And if you're like this, you're going to hit, you know, way down here on your lats. And then obviously, you know, upright, you're going to hit all up here. But the main thing is when you're working lats, what I've learned works best for me is when you're in the negative, you want to stretch as much as you can. So I almost cave my shoulders in, or up, in, whatever, forward, doesn't matter. And when I pull back, before I even start pulling with my elbow, I almost give a little shrug first.
You got to retract the scapula. That's a big part of it. Yeah,
that's the thing. The scapula.
The technical term.
The scapula.
Yeah.
The scapula.
The spatula.
The spatula. You retract the spatula. You retract the spatula first, and then you start pulling backwards. And so by doing that, by pulling on the spatula first,
Hi, SpongeBob.
you make sure.
You ready?
I'm ready. Gains. You make sure that you're getting more lat movement than arm movement.
Alright, do you want to talk about some of the deadlifting as well?
Yeah, okay, I've never been starstruck before, guys, but I met Kai Green a couple years ago at the Arnold, and it was the one and only time I've been starstruck. I went up to him, we took a picture together, he put his hand on my back, and he's like, "You deadlift?" And I'm like, yes sir, yes I do deadlift. Deadlifts and rack pulling is probably one of the most important things you can do to building a strong, thick back. It's all about, you know, building your base and building your foundation, and there's no better way to do that than powerlifting, doing the big three, bench, squat, and deadlift. When you're doing that, you're actually, not only are you getting a great hamstring and glute workout with deadlifts, but when you're in a deadlift, you're actually holding your shoulders back like this, and you're actually using your entire back to hold that bar in place. And then when you go up, you can't just set it down right away, you gotta hold it. And so you're shocking your lats, you're shocking your entire back into getting bigger and stronger. So most of my back days, I always start with deadlifts. That's how I warm up. If you saw my Instagram story about a week ago, I showed you guys the 5-second holds on the rack pulls that I do. You go heavy rack pulls, you do 5 sets of 5, and each rep is 5 seconds. So you're rack pulling and you're holding and squeezing with your lats for 5 seconds, and it just destroys your lats before you even get a chance to isolate them. But doing stuff like that before you work out, just get them warmed up, get them shattered before you start doing your small contractions and small isolation movements, will really help in building strength. So strength. Proust. I think that's soldier. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Stachis or Proust. I can't remember.
Oh man. Also, in the video you saw him doing the one arm pull down thing where you have your hand over your head.
Oh yeah.
That's a similar type of thing.
I made that up on the spot.
Yeah, it's kind of when you do 2-handed row versus one-handed row, but
yeah.
It's kind of difficult to maneuver, but basically what you can do is really focus on one side at a time. So if you didn't have any imbalances, that or some sort of different positioning.
Are you talking about the one where like we were leaning way over?
Yeah.
That was. Go back in or actually we'll put a clip up here somewhere, or we'll just show it on the big, on the full screen. But what I was trying to get with that is actually overemphasizing that stretch you need to, when you pull down for the positive, is getting that entire lat to fire. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was going into, where you want to always stretch all the way out when you're working your back and then pull. So let's go into chest. Why don't you talk about some of the stuff we did for chest?
On to the pecs, the one what everyone wants, that big old chest. Everyone wants one of those.
I'm gonna try and pop.
Mine's not showing.
Boom! My Mark Lobliner in it.
I promise mine are popping. Can't let us see it. So one of the things we did was the incline dumbbell press. That's probably one of my favorite chest workouts, if not my favorite.
Yeah. I
just feel it really well. So hits your upper chest primarily. That's the main goal of it. And a lot of people they'll find they have underdeveloped under chest because if you're only doing flat bench, you're hitting some upper, some lower, but a lot of people end up kind of getting a little more lower from it. So you get that lift, but if you're not careful, you don't want to get that kind of man boob look. You got to really hit that upper chest a lot. So I choose, I always like to do the dumbbell with that instead of the barbell. I mean, both work. I just prefer the dumbbell because I can kind of get a better contraction at the top of the movement. So when you're doing it,
you don't have to go down as far either.
Yeah, you can kind of position it better to your own needs. So when you're going down, you can stretch however far you need, but when you go up, instead of having your hands in a fixed plane, you can bring your hands together a little bit more. Some people touch the weights, you don't quite have to, but getting that little extra squeeze really helps you feel it more. That's kind of why I'm more of a dumbbell guy over a barbell guy.
And I like it. I like doing dumbbells too, because when you're at the top, like I'll actually touch the weights together and then squeeze a little bit further, because you can see how the chest contracts and you get that squeeze. You can still get that on a bar. You're lifting. If you guys know who Ben Pekulski is, lifting with intention. When you're pushing on the bar, you're actually trying to drive your hands together without actually bringing your hands together. It's really painful. It works really, really well, but really hard to do on a barbell. But if you do it with dumbbells, you can just bring them together and squeeze for a couple seconds and then go back down. It's better on your joints too. Doing dumbbells, it's for longevity.
Make sure you don't lock out though. You never want to.
Yeah, you don't
lock out.
Get one of these things.
You don't want to hyperextend.
That happened.
I like those leg press videos you see. That one's rough. And then another one is the we did was the machine decline press. This was more of his choice on it.
Yeah, I like doing machine stuff after everything is pre-exhausted, because you don't really have to focus on your stabilizers. You can just sit in the seat and just go. And it's like our backs were already so shot. We definitely did more back work in that video than chest. But it's nice because all you have to do, you sit back and you push and you just focus on that control and contraction. So boom, quick positive up, slow negative down, and then repeats. So more of a time under tension thing than any kind of strength building you're going to get on machine press.
Yeah, and it's nice because a lot of studies have showed that doing a separate upper and a separate lower will get you more results than just a flat bench. And also with the machine, it's really nice because you don't have to do the awkward rolling up the dumbbell out of the barbell. Right. And I always get blood rushing to my head. It's the worst.
They don't even have a decline bench at our gym.
Do they?
No, it's not. You have to set up one of the mobile ones, which that's always I hate doing that.
Yeah. But also when you're doing any sort of press like that, especially with the decline, or on a flat bench, you don't want to have your elbows all the way flared out. That's a death sentence for your shoulders.
Right. Yeah. It never hurts to just kind of put in like a 15 to 30 degree angle between your wings and your arms.
Yeah. Retract the scapula again before you get going. Pull yourself back, because when you're like this, you can't go all the way up. So you want to be like this and kind of get a more natural 75 degree angle.
You'll feel it too, how much of a difference it makes on your joints. I mean, it's so much easier on your shoulders and your elbows. And then plus, you'll feel a better contraction in your chest, because what you can do is you can actually start pressing and flying at the same time, which you can only do with dumbbells. So give that a try if you guys are looking for something new.
And then, so on to one of the last things we did for the Serratus, which for those who don't know, it's kind of the muscle right here.
It's that cool looking thing you get in between your
kind
lats.
Of below your chest, up front of your lats.
I don't have mine anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to develop, but it's right kind of in here. And
I used to have a good one. Then I got fat. Then I started eating ice cream every night.
Some people call them like your riblets, extra kind of rib area meat. Yeah. So
they do look like ribs.
They have some extra meat on the bones,
but tender.
So it hits that muscle. We were doing the two-handed cable variation here with the rope, so that way when you come down, you can kind of pull it apart more and go through. You can also do it one-handed. That's another good way to hit it. The two-handed just kind of, sometimes you just want to do two hands, use more weight, and also it puts a lot of tension on your core.
It does.
When you're doing the one-handed, you really isolate the lat like that, but and the serratus like that. But when you're doing the two-handed, you have to keep your core really, really strong, so you kind of get some extra activation there.
There's a million different variations you can do for the cable pullovers. You could do it with a straight bar, you can do it with a neutral grip, you can do it with a rope. I like using the rope because, like AJ was saying, you can spread it, towards the more positive movement. But and another thing you can do is when you have the rope, you can actually flip and go underhand grip. And so you're going to be pulling more like this, and when you pull and you still try and spread it, it hits the lats and the serratus that much harder. and it's harder to grip with a rope, so you're actually developing grip strength in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. And just a couple tips with that, same kind of thing with all the back movements. Focus on kind of driving your hands and your elbows back through.
And what I see a lot on this issue is like when people are doing their pullovers, they think it's a tricep extension.
Yeah, it's not.
And so they're pulling down and then they're like extending their elbows. It's not like that. So
you want to kind of keep the same position the whole time.
Just this very actually this would be a large angle because kind of
you don't want to be fully straight, but slight bend in your arms.
Slight bend in your arms, and you want to keep that angle the whole time. So it's not like you're coming down and then pushing. You're just coming down and then you're actually pulling back somewhere. I don't know if you guys can see the way the camera's set up, but look them up online too. But like I said, you could do bar, you can do forward grip, neutral grip, reverse grip. You can do with a rope, and then reverse grip on a rope. And then the rope is good because you can spread it out easier.
Mm-hmm. And also with these, this is probably one of the most important times where making sure you feel it and have the form down is more important than the weight. You never really go too heavy on it. I mean, you want it to be heavy enough so that you feel it, but making sure you know that you're getting that contraction.
I haven't gone over, I used to do like stupid crazy weight on these things, but I don't go over 40 pounds.
Yeah,
on the cable.
The cables, we stay pretty low.
You don't need it. It's definitely it's more of a feel thing. You want to move very slowly, very controlled. Like you want to feel that activation in your lats and in your serratus, because one, you can't really go too heavy because of the way the machine is set up. It'll lift you off the ground.
You just get stuck, kind of.
Yeah, exactly, and it's pointless. It's so don't feel weird for using light weight on it. I mean, I've been so exhausted at times I've done 20 pounds on this exercise, but it's like, it's all about what your body can take. So don't overdo it and don't underdo it. You really got to find your middle ground. That takes practice.
Practice makes perfect.
Perfect practice makes perfect.
There you go. But anyway, so that's it for the exercises we did in the video. If you want to hear anything more in depth about exercises, let us know and we can maybe make a tutorial form video on it, or if you want to see other exercises done, just let us know. We'll be posting different types of videos throughout for the upcoming weeks.
The forever.
Actually.
Forever and eternity.
So if there's something you see, let us know.
Don't forget, please hit that like button and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great content. Thanks, guys.